All right, you guys, this your boy back at y'all with another one. Let's get down to business. So there's growing optimism that Klay Thompson can make his return on Sunday when the Golden State Warriors host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, there was a video that went out a couple days ago about Klay Thompson hitting 24 threes in a row. A lot of people might be awed by that, but I'm not. This guy is a bona fide assassin when it comes to shooting that three. And, for as much um, attention Stephen Curry gets for shooting a three, a lot of people forgot this man can shoot too. This man here can shoot. Anytime you can outscore your opponent in one quarter, like he did against Memphis, right? Like he did against the Chicago Bulls. Look, a lot of people forgot this guy can shoot too. And he's just as deadly from the three-point line. Now, he's completed his rehab. He just waiting on the team, doctor or the team trainer to give him the green light. They will make the decision on Friday in regards to his status for Sunday. Now, whenever Klay comes back, Steve Kerr has already alluded to him being in the starting lineup. So we can expect Klay Thompson to be in the starting lineup when he returns. Now, there's no word on if he's going to be on the minutes restriction. All likelihood, coming back first game, you don't want to overexert yourself. So he will probably be on a minutes restriction, probably like 15, 20 minutes. What's up, Intel's a Cycle? Salute, bro. Happy New Year to you. Now, this team is already dangerous without Klay Thompson. Team looks like they're already going to be a Western Conference Finals threat without Klay Thompson. With Klay Thompson, and if they stay healthy, this team is almost a lock to go to the Western Conference Finals, maybe even to the NBA Finals. But they're almost a lock to go to the Western Conference Finals. Look, and they will have everybody back. The band will be back together, right? Especially with old loudmouth Clear Protocol. When that loudmouth clears protocol and Klay Thompson come back, the band will be back together again. Now, the Golden State Warriors are currently number 1 in the Western Conference. They had a home meeting with the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets beat them the first time, but the second game was postponed due to a outbreak within the Denver Nuggets, and Loudmouth was running his trap about not being able to play them again or whatever like that. But anyway, and about Loudmouth, this is about Klay. It'll be very nice to see him return. I love watching this guy play. Now a lot of people say, "Oh man, he does shoot, man. He really don't drive the ball to the basket." No, look, do what you do best, right? Do what you do best. Get open, catch the ball, shoot it, and put it in the basket. And he could do that on a very high level. This man, you see on your screen. So that's where we're at right now. When we get more information, now because he was supposed to play tonight. He was originally supposed to play tonight. I think the Miami Heat's coming to town, so he will not play tonight against the Miami Heat. The Heat will be on the second leg of a back-to-back. They're coming off a loss against the Sacramento Kings. but Klay will not play tonight. It'll be Sunday night, possibly, according to the reports that's out right now. What's up, Alex Heron? Salute, bro. So I know the Warriors fans, they're gonna be very excited to see the guy come back. Um, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a standing ovation when he comes back, and we'll see what happens. In game, it's good to see him hit 24 threes in a row in practice and stuff like that, right? But it's gonna take him a little bit, and he might come. Hey, for all I know, he might come in on Sunday night, possibly, and just start lighting up the gym. We'll see. But he also possibly come out and go 0 for 10, right? As he, working his way back in the playing form. So that's where I'm at right now. What's up, JFJ? What's up, Gideon? Okay, so these are my thoughts on Klay Thompson. I want to hear from you. Okay. I want to hear from you, the people, the masses, the individuals that are responsible for making this channel the way it is. And I just want to tell y'all that. I really want to tell y'all that I appreciate you guys listening, liking, sharing. You guys subscribing to the channel, making this channel grow. And in 2022, I plan on taking this channel to even greater heights while keeping my raw, unadulterated self.
Salute, man.
All right, Gideon, what you got?
Getting Klay back will help the Warriors shooting the ball wise. My only thing is that it's gonna take him time for him to get adjusted, because he hasn't played in 2 years. So we don't know how Klay's gonna look from injury. I understand he can shoot, but at the same time, Klay Thompson was also a good defender too when he was healthy. So we don't know how he's going to look from his ACL and Achilles because those are two tough injuries to overcome. And also, I know people think that the Warriors are going to the finals. I'm not a believer yet because here's the thing. I don't know how Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, James Wiseman, Kaminga are going to look in the playoffs. Wiggins too. I haven't seen him perform. I haven't seen him perform in the playoffs. And Iggy's still good, but Iggy's getting old. And here's the thing: Steph Curry is a great player, but you have to consider the fact that teams are going to double him and triple him in the playoffs, though. So I just think that even though I do think the Warriors can get to at least the conference final, I don't see them going to the finals yet. That's just me personally.
Okay, yeah, yeah. With Klay coming back, yeah, there's excitement, but I get what you're saying. There are going to be questions and things like that. How, with Jordan Poole going in the starting lineup, how he adjust to being reserved to a bench role.
Right, and have these guys, like I said, have no playoff experience.
Well, we'll get to that when we get there. But
okay,
my thing is, Andrew Wiggins has a specific role where Klay Thompson, how will he adjust? Because
true.
right, because he's probably going to be the third option, right?
Mm-hmm.
How will Jordan Poole reserve? How will he handle going back to the bench? Because most likely he'll be the sixth man off the bench.
Right.
Um, and I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr has spoken with guys like great length about the impending return of Klay Thompson. I'm pretty sure they're excited about the impending return to Klay Thompson and stuff like that. So,
right, right, and don't
for
forget
me,
too. Go ahead, go ahead.
huh?
No, go ahead. You're about to say something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is it for me? They had to know this was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure that they're prepared for the situation from when Klay Thompson comes back. That's why Steve Kerr was able to come out so confidently and so succinctly say that Klay Thompson will start when he returns
Mm-hmm.
because they already had that conversation. They had to have that conversation already.
Right. Right. And also, like I said before, remember Klay was more than just a shooter. He was also a defender. He's not going to be the same defensively. Because don't forget, you not only do you need your hands to move, you also need your feet to move too. He's not going to put pressure too much on the ACL or the Achilles. Because if he tries to do much, he'll get hurt. Salute, kid.
Oh, what's
Right.
up, man? Long time no see. What's up, Gideon?
Salute, man. How you doing? I just don't know how he's gonna look from injury. That's why I'm not a believer in the Warriors. That I gotta see how these guys look in the playoffs before I change my mind. And I gotta say Klay Thompson looks first because you can shoot all you want, but there could be a game out there that he can re-aggravate his injury. Once he goes down, it'll be over in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Who do you play against?
Oh, who the Warriors? Who they playing tonight? The Heat.
No, not tonight. When Clay comes back, the Heat.
No, they're playing the Cavs. I heard game tonight will probably the Cavs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't wait when Clay comes back, man. Honestly, he been away from the game way too long, but now he
Mhm.
gets the opportunity to come back and just we just get the opportunity to see what he looks like coming back from injury. I'll basically catch up what Gideon was saying. We don't know we're gonna get the same Clay Thompson, especially the one that plays defense
Right.
and and a high level. But
Mhm.
I do believe he can still shoot the ball effectively. I don't think that hasn't changed one bit. There's a lot of people shooters who got injured before, probably missed a year, but he still came back and still uh, had an elite, long range dead eye shot. You know what I mean? So I think Clay
Mhm.
Thompson is effective in all 100% on his offensive side. I don't know if he's gonna cut the same or had the same acceleration or speed coming off his foot or whatever, and on his strongest leg. I think I,
Mhm.
I think he got both his injuries on his right or left leg, probably his right leg.
I think it was his right leg. No, no, I think it was his. Yeah, it had to be his right leg.
And I think that's his dominant leg too. His leg is his
Mhm.
strongest. So,
Because you need
we,
to elevate too. It's more than just shooting. You'll need to elevate when you shoot too. That's what that we have to understand.
yeah, that's true. But like he been shooting for so long and so long, like he still got the same form when he shoots. Probably that changed a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
And what because shooting, you still get it's like a nature, it's like a second muscle or second memory. You just know how to shoot, and I still
Mhm.
think Klay Thompson will still have that ability. We might see some changes the way how he shoots, or he might not be the same as shooting when in the first game that he will attend and perform because we probably need to see him get that rhythm. Was he
Right.
shooting in the G League? Like did he play in the G League?
I'm pretty sure he was, but that's. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think his shooting will be okay. My only concern is that I fear that he might re-aggravate the injury again. And also, my fear with the Warriors again. I know the Suns were in the finals with no real playoff experience other than Chris Paul and Jay Crowder, but not every team who has no playoff experience will go to the finals. It doesn't work like that. I mean, Steph has playoff experience, Draymond does, Iggy does, and Klay. But like I said, teams are going to be physical with Steph in the playoffs. Draymond Green, teams will clog the paint with Draymond, and you got to dare him to shoot, and I got to trust Draymond to hit big shots consistently. And Iggy's a good defender, he can pass. However, he's getting no. This isn't 2015 Iguodala, and when he was athletic and all that. And Klay, like I said a million times, Klay can still shoot, but however, his defense won't be the same. So it's like I'm not. I do think the Warriors can get to at least the conference final, but I don't think they can beat the Suns in a 7 game series. I don't care what happened. I don't care what people say. And if they were to somehow make the finals, I don't think they beat the Bucks. I don't think they even beat the Nets.
Brooklyn?
You can argue that the Heat might even beat the Warriors if Miami's up. You can argue that. I'm just not believing in Golden State yet. That's just me.
Nah, yeah.
No, I ain't
And
guarantee Brooklyn will make the finals because they beat
True.
up on can't beat the good ones, and then you got Milwaukee who had a whole bunch of injuries and people battling the Covidius Maximus. Also, you had the Miami Heat with players battling the Covidius Maximus and things like that. And then they're missing a big man in Bam, so they're deficient down low. Uh, PJ
Jer-
Tucker,
And Butler
he's
had a
all
tailbone
that.
too.
PJ Tucker, he's undersized, so you get an athletic big man that can bang and all that. That's gonna give him problems, and he's gonna be in foul trouble.
Right.
So it's like Okay, so each team has its question marks. There's really no surefire. Oh man, this team is a bona fide lock, right? There's no
Mm-hmm.
team out there that's a bona fide lock. Each contender has its own set of issues, and when we get to the playoffs, those issues will either be masked or it will be magnified,
Right.
depending on the team, depending on the matchup, and things of that nature. But for right now, and for right now, we'll see uh, how Golden State handles the rotation, how they handle Klay Thompson's injury when he comes back. We'll see all that. We'll see how all that shakes out, things of that nature. The first couple games will give us a good indication. Um, as he's running himself back into form, as he's trying to get, as he's in game environment, real game environment. We'll see what how this plays out.
Mm-hmm. Right. To me, the only teams that can win the championship, Warriors, maybe the Suns, the Nets, the Bucks, and the Heat. Those are the only teams that I think can win the championship. I'm not a believer in the Jazz because here's the thing why I don't believe in Utah. The 3-point shooting comes and goes in the playoffs. Teams can go small on Gobert, and teams can foul Gobert, and he can miss free throws. And they have a lot of guys who don't play well in the playoffs. Rudy Gay shoots 41% from the field in the playoffs and 29% from three. Jordan Clarkson shoots 39% from field in the playoffs, which is terrible. Mike Conley gets hurt in big games a lot and shoots 42% in the playoffs. I don't know where this whole the Jazz are going to the finals for some people. That's not going to happen. And teams can be physical with Donovan Mitchell. And Whiteside is lazy in the playoffs, in my opinion. So I don't trust Utah. And Denver, they're not healthy. Michael Porter might not come back because of the back injury. Jamal Murray, again, I don't know how he's
Sorry,
going to look at ACL. Yeah.
sorry, out for the season.
Oh, Michael Porter, he's out for the season?
Yeah, he's been ruled out for the season.
Yeah,
He's had
yeah, it's
yeah,
over for Denver. It's over for Denver. And also Jamal Murray's not healthy. Yeah, man.
I didn't know Michael Porter was out for the whole season. Jesus, man. Ooh.
Back injury. He re-aggravated. He's done. He's done for the
they
season.
already had back surgery and all that. That's the same back injury that lowered his draft stock uh when he came out. But even then, right? I'm not a believer in the Denver Nuggets, and I'll tell you why. This has nothing to do with their injury history. It has everything to do with their coach and
True.
their inability to beat teams they're supposed to beat. Uh, the Denver Nuggets are once again fool's gold. All right,
Mm-hmm.
they're fool's gold, and with the wealth of talent that they have, right? Mike Malone, another guy who refuses to play young guys, right? It was only
Right.
he was probably under orders to play Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
Otherwise, Michael Porter Jr. would be on the bench because Bull and Bowles Highland's in health and safety protocol, but those two very talented players have been rotting on the sidelines under Mike Malone. For
Oh
what?
yeah.
Why? I don't have an earthly idea, but this is
Mm-hmm.
where we have Mike Malone.
Right. And also Joker will get tired by the fourth quarter. That's spend so much energy. Don't forget
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, Gideon. They should probably put Bobo in the game. Probably like at least give him
Mm-hmm.
like 12 minutes. They be putting him and they be giving him punch time minutes, like in
Yeah.
the end of the quarter, 2 minutes. That dude got talent, man.
He can
He can
shoot. He can put the ball on the
block
floor,
shots.
protect
He
the
can.
rim. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, come like you. It's literally right there in your face, like you can see it. You know
But
what I
Mike
mean?
Malone's stubborn. And also, I just don't. Aaron Gordon, he's a good defender, but offensively, I don't trust him consistently in the playoffs. I don't. Austin Rivers comes and goes in the playoffs. Jeff Green comes and goes in the playoffs. I don't know where this the Nuggets hype is coming. It's not going to happen. This team's not going to the finals. And also, Jamal Murray, we don't know how he's going to look from his ACL injury. We don't know how he's going to look from his injury. So, and I think that Jokic is going to get tired. Teams are going to be physical with Jokic. He's going to get tired in the playoffs.
But he's the reigning league MVP. I mean, how is he not getting the same criticism as everybody else in the league?
That's a
I
good point.
like
Team got destroyed in the second round. Yeah.
they got swept.
Mm-hmm.
So
By
if they
But
inexperienced Suns team.
Jamal Murray wasn't playing though. But I give you
Yeah, but
that.
that doesn't matter. They beat the Blazers without Jamal Murray. That doesn't matter though.
right, they won games without Jamal Murray, so you can't use that excuse. You can't be like, well, they beat this good team without him, and then turn around in the same breath and say, well, they didn't have him, so that's why they lost.
Even if he would have played, we don't know if they beat the Suns. They got destroyed in the series, though. We don't know that because here's the thing: Chris Paul turned back the clock in that series. Devin Booker was balling. Jay Crowder was balling. Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton. People are really sleeping on the Suns. Here's my finals pick, and this is just me personally. I got the Suns and the Nets in the finals. That's just me.
The Nets?
Yeah, but
I think the Nets turn things around. Yeah, I'm
I
not.
think Nets. Yo, yeah, go ahead. My fault.
You're talking.
Yeah, I think with the Nets, like I feel like soon when Kyrie's not playing home games, then teams gonna take advantage of that. Even though they're playing away, but they're gonna try their best to take advantage of those type of games. You know what Kyrie brings to the Brooklyn Nets.
Right. And also, here's why I got Brooklyn coming out the East. Milwaukee, here's the thing. Losing Brook Lopez might hurt because here's the thing. Boogie can score, but he's not a defender. We have to consider that, though. And also, the Nets can exploit Boogie on pick and rolls and pick and pops and stuff. Because don't forget, Aldridge can shoot, and so can Blake Griffin a little bit. We have to consider that, too.
Blake
And
Griffin?
no,
Yes,
Blake
dude.
Griffin's not a great shooter. He's not. But I'm saying that he occasionally can hit a three. That's what I'm saying.
You can put Giannis. You can put the Milwaukee Bucks can do small ball with and you put Giannis at center or some in some positions, in some cases.
That's a good point. But here's the thing. Don't forget, James Harden wasn't healthy last year. If you have a fully healthy James Harden, he can play make, he can get to the rack, he can score. Yes, I know he's not been amazing this season, but he has turned things around a little bit, though.
That is true. That is true.
So that just means if the game is close, I trust KD. Even though Giannis can get it done, I trust KD if the game is close in the fourth quarter. We're talking about the same Kevin Durant that might have got to the conference finals. His foot wasn't too big. If he moonwalks behind the 3-point line, the Nets would have gone far in the playoffs. They probably would have gone to the conference final against the Hawks, and they probably would have gone to the NBA finals against the Suns.
They probably would have beat the Suns, man.
Okay. What?
No, they would. Yeah, I said they would have beat the. They would beat the Suns.
You can make a case, yeah. What do you think, LB?
The Warriors beating the Suns?
No, the Nets. I'm saying if Durant's, I know we don't want to do what is, but I'm just saying if Durant's foot was behind the line, how far you think the Nets would have gone in the playoffs?
Oh, you think with no James Harden and Kyrie when they got injured?
No, Harden was there. But Kyrie, we didn't know when Kyrie's come back. We didn't know when Kyrie's come back.
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know how that would have played out because the dynamics change if KD's foot was behind that line.
Right. They would have played the Hawks in the conference final and
maybe
the finals.
Takes a game-winning shot and misses, and Bucks get eliminated. Maybe Giannis tries to go to the hole and gets an and one, and the Bucks win it. I don't know.
I doubt that would have happened because Milwaukee. I doubt that would have happened. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I doubt it. So, yes, that would have been a momentum. I doubt it, man. I don't know, man. Because the Bucks, Milwaukee's a good team, but sometimes the out of bounds timeout plays are mediocre sometimes.
Man,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how that would have played. I had KD's foot in the line. There's really no foregone conclusion that the Nets would have won because they, all these buzzer beaters that we've seen in the playoffs, stuff like that. You really don't know what would happen.
I mean, I get that, but I just think that if hypothetically foot was behind the line, I just think that would have devastated the Bucks, in my opinion. That's just me personally.
Okay, but bringing it back to the Klay Thompson experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put a button on this. Klay Thompson experience. So, all right. So, how many minutes did you see him playing when he comes back?
I think it depends how he looks to start against Cleveland. Depends. I'm gonna say 20 minutes around that. I don't think he'll play a whole lot because they don't want to overuse him too much. So I think around like 20 something minutes. That's my guess.
Okay, so you say around 20 minutes. All right. How many minutes do you think he's gonna play Kid Trunks?
I agree. I agree with Gideon. Around 20 minutes.
Because you don't want him to get hurt. That's the thing. You don't want him to get hurt. Because if he gets hurt, the Warriors are not going to the finals. Tell you that right now.
So it's like 5 minutes stretches in the game.
Pretty much, yes. Depending how the game goes. Because Cleveland's been a surprise team a little bit. Depending how the game goes. Yeah, around 5 minutes per quarter, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's something I can buy off on. Maybe they might play him even less than that. They might play him 15 minutes or something like that. I don't know. but he will start. That's what Steve Kerr said last week.
Oh, he's okay. Okay, that's
He's
good.
starting. Do you think they should put him on the bench a little bit? Do you think they should start him right away?
Well,
Yeah.
why? I mean, look, this is my thing. I'm pretty sure they have, like I said before, I'm pretty sure they had conversations about that, right? About
Mhm.
Klay Thompson impending return, and I do think that putting him back in the starting lineup, right?
Mhm.
Because what you don't want to do is have him come off the bench, play, you know, get him back in the game shape off the bench, and then boom, he goes back in the starting lineup.
Good point. That ruined your rotation. That's a good point.
That you know, right. So they've had to already prepare for his impending return, and then the roles will change too. Like, okay, Andrew Wiggins will be the third option, right? You got Jordan Poole coming off the bench, and then you got Damian Lee will revert to a reserve role, right? Where he'll get some minutes, but not nearly the minutes he's getting with Klay being out, right?
Mhm.
So everybody have to know that's coming, and you don't want to go down the line while Klay Thompson's back, and then you want to do that. Then you do that. That's how some guys they get in their feelings. They go in the media. In this day and age, motherfucker feel some kind of way. They might just take their ball and go home, literally.
Good point.
So
Is that? Yep.
Yeah.
That's right there.
That's a good point. And also, look, I like the Warriors, but another reason why I think they'll struggle in the playoffs, turnovers. They pass the ball well, but they can be turnover prone. And a team like the Suns could get into transition though. And if they were to get to the finals, hypothetically, the Warriors, the team like the Nets or the Bucks can get into transition too and get lobs and dunks. So I just think that teams can exploit by being physical with the Warriors, and I just think they'll get turnover prone. That's just me personally.
well,
We'll see.
in a way, I kind of disagree with you, getting on because, and and I'm not trying to precipitate on your parade, but a lot of the Warriors' um, offensive scheme revolves around ball movement.
True.
It's not like they got a Russell Westbrook and Russell Westbrook got to got to knock down three people just to get a rebound or run around here playing like a Tasmanian devil off Looney Tunes and shit. Like he in
True.
what's that movie Space Jam? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not playing like damn Tasmanian devil in Space Jam and all that. No, a lot of what they do revolves around ball movement and getting in open spots. A lot of screens, a lot of picks, Steph getting open, Klay getting open, because they're gonna a lot of offensive strategy or defensive strategy revolve around getting Stephen Curry off his spots, right? Look,
Right.
the threes go in, but they're gonna make it hella difficult for him to even get comfortable and set his feet and shoot the ball with confidence and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the part of the reasons why he's been struggling, because teams have
LeBron.
been, huh?
That's my point. That's why
Yeah.
Steph might. I'm sorry for interrupting. That's one of my points too. Like I said, like you just said, LB, teams are gonna watch off of Steph at the 3-point line, and don't forget, Steph can also drive to the hole. But if they play like the Phoenix Suns, hypothetically speaking, right? You got Aiden and McGee that can protect the rim, and Biombo, if they were to keep him around, he can protect the rim too.
Biombo,
I'm
he's still
not.
in.
He's on the Suns now. Yeah,
Bismack Biombo still on the Suns.
he's on the Suns now. Yeah, he played yesterday. Just the
Oh,
Hornets. Yeah.
the only reason he played yesterday because one, it was against his former team, the Charlotte Hornets. Two, the Phoenix Suns was up by like 35 points.
I mean, I
They blew,
understand. I
yeah, they blew
understand
the
that.
doors off the Hornets, so that's why he got those playing minutes.
I understand that. I'm not saying Biombo's gonna be great. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if Monty's actually smart, he would use him to protect the rim. I'm not saying he's a great player, but he's still a pretty good rim protector. And
Oh
they
yeah,
can do.
but they don't need him to be a great player. That's the thing.
No, I understand that he doesn't need to be great. He just needs to be serviceable. Assuming Phoenix were to sign him for the rest of the season, because the Suns need rim protection to help out McGee and Aiden. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That if you play the Warriors in the playoffs, I will favor Phoenix, because here's the thing: you have three guys. Assuming Monty plays Biombo, that can protect the rack too. and can do the pick and roll with Chris Paul. And you're not going to double anyone on the Suns because those guys can pass too, and the Suns are not turnover prone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that, and I just think that here's the thing. I know Chris Paul has had bad moments in the playoffs. However, he is capable of having a big series though. So it's not like he can't have a good series against Golden State. Because don't forget, in 2018 against the KD Warriors, Chris Paul was owning that series on both sides of the ball until he got hurt. So that's just me. And also Devin Booker, I think he'll be better in the playoffs this year because he can hit the mid range, he can attack, he can shoot the three. His 3-point shoots improved a lot this year. My only thing with Devin Booker is they need to be more consistent in the clutch in the fourth quarter in certain playoff games. But other than that, I think Devin Booker's going to be a better playoff performer this year. And DeAndre Ayton, if the Warriors play the Suns, Ayton was scoring the block and he can hit the 15-footer too. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And also, you have Bridges and Crowder. They're not going to stop Steph, but they're going to be physical with Steph Curry. Because even though Steph Curry is an MVP, sometimes Steph Curry struggles against defensive teams. Because if you can double team, get the ball out of his hands, or you just don't let him get airspace, he can struggle too. Like if you notice, Steph Curry's actually been, even though Steph Curry's had a great year, Steph Curry has also cooled off the last few games because teams have been physical with him. I can see the Suns doing that though.
Yeah. I mean, all valid points. I mean, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I can tell it's gonna be the Warriors and the Suns. I know we like doing the we will see game, but I can tell it's gonna be Golden State and Phoenix because I just think the signs are there. And to me, I don't buy into hypotheticals with teams because we can't always use the whole those two teams can get hurt. Anyone can get hurt, but you have to assume the two teams are healthy. And when those two teams are healthy, I can tell it's gonna be Golden State or Phoenix, unless the Lakers make a trade or something. I just think it's gonna be the Warriors and the Suns. That's just me. I mean, I know we like doing the we will see game, but certain times, man, personally for me, I don't play the we will see game for every single situation because sometimes you gotta look at reality. Like look at the Lakers with Westbrook. We knew that it was not gonna be a great team, and what's happened? You see my point?
Right. Shout out to Randy S. For his donation through the super chat. He says, salute LB, salute to you. Happy New Year to you, Randy S. And I appreciate your donation through the super chat. If you want to donate, also there's my Cash App, there's my PayPal if you want to donate. But I appreciate your support. Thank you very much. But yeah, the only thing, but in this scenario, you have to play the we will see game because remember, you got guys coming back from injury. You got guys trying to take on new roles. How would they handle that? How would they handle the new roles? How would Klay Thompson work his way back from injury and all that, right? And then on top of that, the matchup's going to be different because remember, the first two times they played, there was no Klay Thompson dynamic. So the Phoenix Suns can fixate on stopping Steph and make Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole beat them. Now you have Klay Thompson in the mix. So now it's not just as simple as doubling Steph. Because if you double Steph and you leave Klay Thompson by himself, then what? If he goes on, then what? Then you got to adjust strategy.
That's a good point. I understand that. However, I don't know if Klay is going to shoot. I mean, I think Klay will be decent shooting, but is it going to be the same Klay Thompson that we saw before? And you have to understand this too. Devin Booker will make Klay Thompson work on defense a little bit though. So that's because remember, Klay is not going to be the same defensively too. So that might tire out.
We don't know that. We don't know that. Just because somebody comes back from an injury and all that, we just can't definitively say that, oh man, he's not going to be the same player. We don't know that. That's the reason why we got to wait and see.
I mean, I get that point, but you have a good point. But you have to think to yourself, when you have an ACL and an Achilles, it's hard for you to not only be the same offensive player, but the same defensive player. Example, look at, not to compare Klay Thompson to Kobe, I'm not, but think about it. Kobe Bryant, we all know he relied on athleticism, but later in his career, he relied on shooting. When he had the Achilles, he wasn't the same player, not only offensively, but defensively. So I'm saying is that I'm not saying it's a guarantee Klay will not be the same, but I just personally, for me, I just don't think he will be the same player. That's just me, because when you're having an ACL and Achilles, you also need it's going to affect your movement defensively. He was more than just a shooter. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, to counteract what you're saying, Kobe Bryant was, when he suffered that Achilles injury, Kobe Bryant was when was he when was he hurt? Because he in '96. That injury happened in 2003. He was like
2013 against the Warriors, ironically, yeah.
he was in like in year 16 or 17 when he suffered that injury.
I understand that, but he was still a dominant. I understand he was old, but he was still a dominant player before the injury. I just think that if he didn't get the Achilles, he probably could still have like at least 2 more years of dominance. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that not every player could just come back from injury and be the same player. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and I'm saying this. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but I don't think we can just write him off and say that definitively say that oh he's not going to be the same player because he's got that injury. Some people handle their injury very different, and then on top of that, they got guys that they can if they want Klay to take a break and all that, right? They have resources now, given the fact that they have the best record in the NBA, and given the fact that Andrew Wiggins has settled into a role, Jordan Poole has settled into a role, so you really don't need Klay to be this all-world defender.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but here's the thing: I don't know how Jordan Poole's gonna be in the playoffs. I don't know how Gary Payton II's gonna be in the playoffs. And Andrew Wiggins, he's good in the regular season, but in the playoffs, I haven't seen him play well in the postseason. So I get what you're saying, but some of these guys have no real playoff experience.
But that's the thing: you got enough playoff experience to where you don't need them to. You don't need them to be all-world heroes and all that. That's why they got the veteran leadership they got. You don't need them guys to be all-world heroes. You just need them to be serviceable, right?
I mean, I think it'll be
and each game, right, yeah. And with each game, when we get there, right? You don't need Andrew Wiggins to go out there and score 25, 30 points in a night. We don't need Gary Payton Jr. to come off the bench. Look, and I look. And all what we're saying right now is hypothetical. Everything what we're saying right now is speculative, but we won't know for certain until game 1 at Chase Center goes down against whoever's the AFC, whether it be the Lakers, whether it be the Mavericks, whether it be
the Nuggets, it could be the Kings, Spurs, it could be
the Kings. The Kings not in the playoffs.
I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they will. I said they have an opportunity. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying that it could be.
Well, I'm saying they're not. I'm saying they're not.
I agree with that.
I agree. They're not making the playoffs.
I agree. But your point is saying that we don't know until the Warriors play whoever the AC could be: the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Spurs, T-Wolves, Mavs, yeah.
So that's where you're at. But yeah, this is healthy. This is a healthy conversation, Gideon. I like it.
Thanks,
I
man.
like it.
Yeah, man. Because I try not to disrespect the individual. I try not to because it's only a debate. But it's a good conversation. But I do agree they have enough to at least get to the conference final. Unless a team out there like the Lakers make a move or something, I think currently constructed, they have at least have enough to face the Suns in the conference final. I just don't think.
Whoa! You think the Lakers make the conference final?
No. I didn't say that. No. Listen
I'm about to say.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying the Lakers will get there. I said unless they make a trade. Currently constructed, I got the Warriors and the Suns in the conference final. I said,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. The Lakers are inconsistent, man. They're not going that far. They're inconsistent, man. Like the depth, I know they just beat the Wolves, but they barely beat them last night without Cat and D'Lo. But currently constructed, I got Golden State and Phoenix in the conference final. And personally, for me, I got Suns in 7. If that were to face off. Because I just think that they're going to learn. I just think that Phoenix is going to learn from last year, and Chris Paul is due to beating Steph Curry in the playoffs. He's due. I understand Steph Curry is great, but not to compare the Suns to the Mavs of 2011. If Dirk Nowitzki, who is known as a guy that can never win, could beat Kobe, KD, and LeBron, why can't CP3 beat Steph Curry in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And don't forget, both teams are good at winning on the road. Phoenix can win in Golden State. Golden State can win in Phoenix. So It's gonna be tough, and both teams are great defensively. But another reason why I picked the Suns with a slight edge over the Warriors, I just think that Aiden would dominate in the paint. Because don't forget, Da was dominant in the playoffs in the paint the first 3 rounds until the finals against the Bucks, which Wall had rim protection. I think McGee, don't forget, he's a champion too. Don't forget about that. He brings veteran experience with his rim protection, getting lobs too. And you'll have Cam Johnson who can stretch the floor, and he's athletic and he could defend. Cameron Payne, I know Cameron Payne's not played well this season, but he can still get to the rack and he can hit the big three. You saw how good he was in the playoffs last year. And you have Landry Shamet who can hit the big three too. So I just think that if the Suns were to play the Warriors, I just trust Phoenix slightly more than Golden State because I know the Warriors have veterans, but I don't. But Iggy's getting older. Steph, I just think that Steph Curry's gonna be teams are gonna be a little more physical with Steph. And don't forget, Jay Crowder can hit big shots too, and Bridges is athletic and can hit big shots too. So personally, for me, I just think that the Suns would beat the Warriors in a 7-game series. But like you said, time will tell.
And one thing you glossed over in that theory that you put out. Let's not forget Chris Paul has an injury history as well in the playoffs.
Same thing with Steph Curry too. Both guys can get hurt in the playoffs. That's a good point. Both of them, because like Chris Paul, he hurt his hamstring in 2018, hurt his hand in 2016. Sadly, had a show. People talk about LeBron not being healthy. Don't forget, Chris Paul hurt his shoulder in Game 1 in that series last year, and he had a wrist injury in the finals, and he had the virus. But don't forget, Steph Curry's injury prone too. Think about that. Steph Curry had a concussion in 2015, had MCL sprains in 2016 and 2018. So it's not a guarantee that Steph Curry will be healthy too. We got to consider that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, either way, it'll be a very entertaining NBA Western Conference Finals. Yeah, I had to clean that up on the fly, but it'll be a very entertaining conference finals. The way I see it, those two teams right there is on the collision course and all that. Provided Lakers don't make a move, I believe they will make a move because to me, the Russell Westbrook experiment that needs to be
not
shut
worked out. They got to get a defensive wing. They need a defensive wing, and they need a center off the bench because Dwight Howard. I mean, he's still decent, but he's getting old. This isn't Dwight Howard of Orlando when he was athletic and protecting the rim. He's getting old, man. So the Lakers need a defensive wing and another center.
Yeah,
and a point guard. To me, if you're LA, do you think they should trade for either Brogdon or De'Aaron Fox?
I like Malcolm Brogdon because Malcolm Brogdon could not only score, but he can defend. But the problem with him is he is injury prone too.
Good point.
And De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox got his own share of injuries too. But see that I don't believe the Kings moved De'Aaron Fox to the Lakers for the simple fact they just don't want to trade within a Western Conference rival, right?
Good point there.
They're not trading with a Western Conference rival, so no.
Right.
So the more realistic scenario is Brogdon, and which the Pacers already indicated they wanted to blow this thing up because it's not working. Now, as much as I like Brogdon, the person I really would like for them to have is Sabonis.
That would be nice. He can score in the post. He can stretch the floor. He's an underrated passer. But who you trade for Sabonis? That's the thing.
That's a good question. Let me see.
Because
because they trying to go young, so
right.
you ain't gonna be able. This might be a situation where a third team has to come in, or whatever, like just like what they did with the Knicks, with the Lakers sending the Knicks Denzel Valentine because they was going to just waive him anyway.
Yeah, he's not gonna last long. Yeah.
So I think there might be a situation where a third or even a fourth team might have to come in, but I would really like for them to have Sabonis and all that. If Sabonis can play the 5, and then you can have, because AD's desires to play the 4, and then with Sabonis' game, he is not. I believe that his game will not impact AD's game.
True. Sure, because he doesn't need because he can also pass too. Sabonis can also pass, and he can crash the glass too. Because the rebounding will improve too. Because if you watch the Lakers, they give up a lot of offensive boards.
Right, they're getting destroyed on the offensive glass right now because they got LeBron playing the 5, and they're playing this small ball because Dwight Howard just can't seem to stay out of foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the one game he picked up like 3 fouls in like a minute.
That's horrible.
That's unacceptable.
That's horrible, but that's horrible. And do you think the Lakers need a defensive wing, something like a Norman Powell or a Jeremy Grant or something, a defensive wing?
Well, see, the thing, they're not going to get Jeremy Grant because, one, Jeremy Grant, remember, Jeremy Grant was already on teams where he was like the 3rd or 4th option, right?
True.
With OKC, Denver, what have you, right? Now he's like he's like the number 1 option along with Cade Cunningham in Detroit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he likes being the number 1 option in Detroit, and then he also likes playing for the general manager in Detroit, what makes people think that he's going to leave Detroit to come to the Lakers and revert back to being an option behind AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook?
That's a good point.
I don't see how that worked, bro.
But what about Norman Powell? Because that can still happen. What about Norman Powell?
Well, it goes back to what I talked about in the
LB.
The Portland Trailblazers will not trade with a Western Conference rival. They won't, especially with the Lakers. Look, I don't think you understand the gravitas of the situation, right? Teams like the Blazers, Spurs, Kings, all that, they're not trying to trade with the Lakers. Hell no.
Good point. Good point.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Wait, what? I can hear. Wait, what?
No, because my clock came in.
Yo, what's good, guy boys?
All right, so I'm about to go out and come back in. All right, wait, what you got?
What's good, pimp?
Y'all keep on talking.
I'm
just
shout out
go
to
out and come back in
shout
because
out to the guy with a G on his shit. I don't
messed
know
up my whole Steelers.
Good. That's me.
Hey, what I was finna say is, if y'all were talking about, listen, man, Grant cannot slide to the Lakers. Period. For the simple fact that Grant, listen, Grant is a perfect 3rd option for a situation of a team there that will allow him to do what he need to do at the same time, be consistent. Because if you look at, for example, if you paid attention to the USA team, he wasn't such a huge factor that people were trying to make out to be like he want to be a number 1 or a number 2. Now I think he just want to play fundamental basketball. And right now the Lakers don't know how to play fundamental basketball because they don't know how to play defense. Everybody's on the island. Everybody's on the island by themselves when they try and play their man. It should not be man to man because basketball, you gotta be able to rotate. You gotta be able to make fight over screens. You gotta be able to contest with so many different things. And like I said, until Lakers, all their players want to say, you know what, fuck it, let's all learn how to play defense or actually play defense. It'll be a waste of time because you'll just have him on the island, just like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is not the guy from Orlando who can be by himself 1-on-1. You gotta rotate, you gotta move, you gotta make sure you have a scheme for the defense, and that's what the Lakers don't have right now. They don't have an identity, so that's why they got LeBron playing the 5 because that's their identity.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Hold on real quick. I just got a Cash App donation. Randy S. He sent me a donation through the Cash App. Once again, I appreciate you, my brother. He says he got the Suns beating he got the Warriors beating the Suns with Klay. That's what he said through the Cash App. So I appreciate your donation once again. If you want to donate, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal, and those are the avenues I take donation. If you want to go do Super Chat as well, that's great too. Every little bit helps. But all right, go ahead, continue on. Wait, what?
Yeah, shout out to the guy, Randy. Shout out to him. Definitely. But like I was finna say, like I said, it's the all right. To just go off of what Randy said, because he did pay that. Warriors over the Suns with Klay. See, we gotta wait to see what Klay is, bro. Like literally, I know everybody like, oh, I get it, yeah, but he's just a spot up shooter. It's gonna be in crucial moments where teams will try to test him by also attacking him, just like they did AD last year And the Suns, you seen what they did with AD, and he was not even like coming off of injuries. He was just like hiccup and had a little bruising. And you seen what the Suns did. They attacked him, get him out of there, and that's when they just cleaned up the series. So
Right.
for me, you just gotta watch out and don't overuse him at all. You gotta let him just flow in the game, 20, 25 minutes per game, and that's it. I don't need him on the best defenders. I don't need him. I just need him to flow with it. Because right now, like honestly, Klay ain't gonna be back until next season. Right now, you trying to hurry up and bum rush him into the situation. Because you've seen as a number one guy as in KD, with the Achilles coming back off of that injury, he took a team to game 7, but that wasn't him fully. You know what I'm saying? He
That's
still
straight
had
up
to,
Achilles, KD.
you know what I'm saying? He still had to get a couple more games under him and everything. This year, you know, he's fully healthy coming to the season because he got a couple games under his belt after coming back from the injury. So Klay won't be the same until next year.
That's what I'm saying. And don't forget too, we don't know how Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Kuminga, Wiseman are going to look in the playoffs. We don't know. Some of these guys have no playoff experience. Not every team who has no playoff experience will just get to the finals. It doesn't work like that.
Facts. And then, like I said, the simple fact that people look at you gotta understand when it comes to playoffs. This is why the playoffs for NBA is so unique. The reason for the playoffs to be so unique in the NBA because you allow you to play that person 7 times, the most. So you will study this team. Right now, of course, you can have so many different wins because teams are not preparing for you like they will be preparing for you in the playoffs, where they'll know every position of where your favorite player want to be at his spots and everything like that. So that's why I said regular season gonna be what it is. You just gotta pay attention to the little thing and see if somebody healthy or not. Can you attack this person or not? That type of approach. Because like I said, he came off with 2 major injuries. One in the knee for one leg and then an Achilles to another leg. So it's not like all in one leg and you can just really attack it. It's both legs. So he got to come back real slow.
And it might take him time because if and it's a possibility he can re-aggravate it. It's a possibility. And also what we forget too is that, like I said, the Suns have more rim protection too. McGee. Because remember, Phoenix didn't have rim protection last year to help out Aiden. That's why they lost 4 games in a row to the Bucks. So now you got McGee and they got Biyombo, who can help with rim protection. And I just think it's this. I know Chris Paul's injury prone, same thing with Steph Curry. Because don't forget, Steph Curry is known to have an MCL sprain in the playoffs, and he's known to have a concussion in the playoffs. So it's not a guarantee he will be healthy. And also, and what we also have to understand is this. The Suns are less turnover prone than the Warriors, though. So we have to consider that too. So, and I just think that Chris Paul, he's due into being Steph Curry in the playoffs. He's due. Because here's the thing. 2014, he beat him in the playoffs. 2018, you can argue that if CP3 didn't get hurt, you can argue they would have beaten the Warriors that year, the Rockets. And then also the fact that Booker, he's going to be assertive getting to the basket. He's more than just a shooter, though. And he can get to the line, too. And DeAndre Ayton will score in the post and he can hit the 15-footer. So I just think that the Suns would beat the Warriors in a 7-game series, in my opinion. And don't forget, Phoenix is a better free throw shooting team in the clutch, in my opinion, than Golden State. Because I don't know how Wiggins will look in the clutch at the foul line. Or Wiggins or Draymond. That's just me. And Iggy, too. That's just me. So I think the Suns would beat the Warriors in a 7-game series. And also, I just think the Suns would use the final source as a motivation.
Oh, hold on. So, James J, that's correct. Suns did play Bismack. He did sign Bismack Biyombo. He played against the old team last night, the Charlotte Hornets, but DeAndre Ayton is still out. They had a guy by the name of Jalen Smith in there. Jalen Smith, he's proven to be a complimentary backup to him and all that. And I think they signed him because DeAndre Ayton is out because of the Maximus and all that. But yeah, so when DeAndre Ayton comes back, all likelihood Bismack Biyombo will be back on the chopping block. Well, we'll see. That's the speculation right now. But go ahead, continue, Gideon.
So back to Waitwa's point, I can tell Klay's not gonna be the same player this season. I can tell because here's the thing. It's hard for him to, because here's the thing. He not only was he a good shooter, he needs to defend. At some point, he needs to defend. Because here's the thing: Gary Payne's good on defense, but we don't know how he's gonna look in the playoffs. So we don't know. So that's the thing too. So, and that's the thing with me too. And Klay, I don't know how he's gonna move from the Achilles and the ACL. Not every player who had an Achilles or an ACL is gonna just recover. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Klay will be trash. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that I don't think he's gonna be the same player right away this season, like what Wade was said.
Definitely,
All
G.
right.
I
So let's
appreciate you.
all right.
You're welcome,
So
man.
on that note, let's switch gears and all that, right? Now, I want to talk about this on the previous video, but since it got two good constituents in the room, we'll give our thoughts about the situation. I did a video on yesterday morning. I did a video about Kevin Porter Jr. and he got suspended, well, basically for telling everybody, "Fuck y'all." He got into an altercation with John Lucas. Basically told everybody to fuck y'all. I'm leaving. I'm out this bitch. Right now, whether he went home or to the strip club, that's a whole different argument for another day. But he left. He left the arena during the game. At halftime, Christian Wood refused to go in the game for whatever inexplicable reason. And as a result, they got suspended for tonight's game against the Philadelphia 76ers. So, reportedly, it's only one game. Now, they also said that he has a well-documented issues with anger management.
Right.
But in my opinion, nothing will quell that anger management more than losing a lot of money. That would change your anger up real quick. But what are you guys' thoughts on the Rockets situation? You think the situation was too light? You think he shouldn't have been suspended at all? I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
You want to go first? Wait, what?
All right, appreciate it. Listen, man, Kevin Porter Jr. First game he came there, he dropped like what 40 something, 50 something. Like kid was just out his mind first time getting there. I think them drafting Jalen Green, then them not really they like right now. I don't think Houston Rockets have an identity.
Nope.
And then when you don't have an identity of who you want to be or what you want to be, because let's be honest, bro, Jalen Green, the young boy from Detroit, some of these draft picks, they not performing like how these niggas was hyped up to.
Christian
But
Wood?
that's not my question. My question was, do you think the suspension was too light or too heavy, or he shouldn't have been suspended at all?
For Christian Wood?
No,
Christian Wood and
Kevin Porter.
Kevin Porter Jr. They both got suspended for tonight's game.
All right, I think it's too light. If you had an identity, you would have handled that much better than just one game. That's what I was trying to say. Like, they don't have an identity, so now they don't have no structure. You don't got no structure. That's why you're going to have these one-game suspension. I think it's probably more than that because the simple fact that, you got to follow in with the team, bro. And then if you're not doing that, especially, I know you don't like the head coach or however you don't like it, but you got to follow through. You know what I'm saying? Be responsible, be a professional. It's more about the professional part, I think, that we got to reach for the young bulls, especially a Woods and especially a Porter Jr. Like, you got to show them off rip, like, hey, look, I know the league is a lot. A lot of people saying, hey, it's player-friendly league. But like I said, these coaches got to come back to coaching and become back authorities in a way that not try to, like, dictate it, but more get respect from it. Because they don't got no respect right now. Silas don't got no respect because the simple fact that if a dude out here saying, you know what, I don't want to do this no more, and then you got a dude who don't want to get in, like, bro, that's disrespectful to the game because there's niggas out there who want to fucking play. You know what I'm saying? And you out here, I refuse to play type of shit. They got no like respect factor. So for me, if I was in there, definitely it'd been like at least about 3 games, get them a understanding of yo, this shit ain't what it is. This ain't what it is, bro. You're not gonna disrespect. Like, you don't like, bro. You allow that shit to happen. You only doing one game, nah, bro.
Yeah, man.
That shit need more than one game because, like I said, it's a respect factor. They come back like, well, that's like, because nowadays games to be so close, that could be a Tuesday and them niggas back in practice on Wednesday morning.
Good point.
That's not no, you know what I'm saying? You just gave them niggas a day off. Nah, fuck that. Made them niggas understand. Hey, and then when they come back, they don't start in the starting lineup. They gotta work their hard. Okay, it gotta be like football. Like when you don't come to practice, or you don't, or basketball, you don't come to practice. Next niggas up. Put them up. You gotta let them know 3 games is enough for you to figure out who the next man up.
Shit, in football, they cut you. They just flat
Shit,
out
you
cut
already
you.
know. Yeah, you know. You already know, LB. Shit, that's you getting light. That's you having skill set and everything. He's still gonna bench you and still gonna
Right.
give you like put somebody else in front of you. If you were just average, nigga, you cut, nigga. You can't even do that shit, nigga.
To the question, LB, I think around 3 to 4 games because you can't allow players to just go out there and act like they're better than what they are and then disrespect the coaching like that. I mean, I understand the anger because they were probably mad because they were losing, but at the same time, don't let your anger get worse. You know, you gotta learn to like control it. You gotta learn to be a professional, like you said, wait, what, and just you got to respect the coach. You may not, here's what I believe personally. You may not respect what he's saying, but you got to respect the coach because he's trying to help you, become better players. So it's like, I mean, Paul Silas, he's not a great coach, but I think Kevin Porter and Christian Wood just acting like babies. I just think that's sending a wrong message to the league because it's like sending like, oh, young players to just
Steven
act.
Silas.
Steven
It's
Silas.
Steven.
Steven
Yeah.
Silas, Michael. I meant to say Steven Silas. So Steven, it's like I understand that Kevin Porter and Christian Wood are upset and they have the right to be upset, but I cannot respect them just taking their anger to a whole new level and disrespecting the organization. Because it's just a spin in the face of the organization. They gotta learn to control their anger and calm down. Look, we knew the Rockets were gonna be garbage this year. We knew that. But it's like I just think that Kevin Porter and Christian Wood are just taking it to a whole new level. And I just don't think it's respectful to not only to their teammates, but to the coaching staff and to the city too of Houston.
Right. Because there's only so many spots on the NBA roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got people who will literally kill themselves to be on the NBA roster and let alone play in the game.
Yep.
Right?
Fact.
And considering that, think about this, y'all. We got people out here working 12 hours a day, hardly no breaks, 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Do ankle injuries, shoulder pain, back pain, right? Mother literally killing themselves just to get a paycheck so they can feed their family, keep a roof over their head. And here these 2 dickheads here just, acting like they are entitled to carry on the way they carried on after the coach called them out for them fucking up, for them giving up almost 50 points in the second quarter by themselves.
Yo, I agree with you because the simple fact that it's some things like I just feel like it's more about morals and just more about
No,
people.
hold on. I that man came off the wrong way. The team gave up 50 points in the second quarter. Almost. They gave up 47.
That's embarrassing.
So when the assistant coach, John Lucas, who's played the game and coached the game on a high level, calls you out for your performance and you get mad and want to throw things and say, the hell with this, I'm out of here. But you know what? If it was up to me, your ass would permanently stay home.
Good point. So what do you mean by that? You just won't bring him back for
they will not come back. They will stay home until I find them a trade partner.
Oh, that'll be their last game as Rockets.
Oh, damn, you ain't.
That'll be their very last game as a member of the Houston Rockets if it was up to me.
Okay.
See, like I said, for me, this is something.
You got to go back to What's point.
This is for me.
It goes back to his point of establishing an identity and a culture. What are you trying to set? Because right now, what they got right here, is their culture and their identity is being put to the test right now as we speak. Go ahead. What?
Facts.
Yep.
Facts. For the simple fact, like I said, like when it comes, like I had to learn this throughout life as you go and grow. Yo, because the person you don't like and they trying to give you some criticism or anything like that, it's not about it. You cannot put your emotions in it. You got to step back, get out your skin, and take that in. All right, yo, Big Dog say, yo, you're not blocking on the bim. All right, Big Dog, tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can do better. Don't be sarcastic with it. Just be serious. Be like, all right, so I need to get better on the lower box on the interior pass, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Get like when somebody look. At the end of the day, if you feel like somebody bullshitting you, then you got to go along with the situation. If somebody say, yo, you ain't playing no D, all right, big dog, what you seeing out there that I'm not seeing? Let me know, because I can better, like, be informative. Try to get information out of people, because if you just saying, oh, this nigga just picking on me or some weird shit, now it's making it seem like you're being an emotional one instead of you just asking simple questions to be able to develop the situation much better. I don't understand what, like, I don't know if it's a pride thing. I don't know if people don't feel embarrassed to ask questions. It's no such thing as a dumb question, because you got to figure out what the fuck going on. So you got to ask that shit, even if it might sound crazy. Like, if he asks me how to play defense, he a coach, so fuck it. Yeah, ask him how you want me to play defense on that situation, coach. We ain't getting enough rebounds because I ain't slide over there. Take criticism, eat that shit, and then learn from it. It's not about like, oh, you can't take it and it's too hard. Bro, listen, even if he an asshole and he just saying shit out your ass, take it in, because always when the asshole says something wild, there's always a little bit of truth in there for you to grab. But it's up to you to listen to it all so you can be able to flush out the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's better our communication. It's better for communication for you to, you know what I'm saying, to keep going. Because I hate when people just be like, oh, I can't talk to this person, and they just give up. Nah, nigga, try to figure out how the fuck you trying to speak to them. Because sometimes people might not learn the way you learn or to communicate the way that you probably can grasp something. Slow it down. Bring it in. It's basketball, man. I don't know why niggas, it's life too, bro. Like, people, I don't know why people just don't know how to accept communication and just pick up different things, bro. That's all it is, bro. That's a communication situation right there.
You make some good points, but at the same time, if you're going to criticize somebody, it has to be valid. You know, I have to give you reasons why I'm doing it. And I mean, I get what you're saying with what you make some good points, but here's the thing. We cannot force people to take criticism. We can't. So it depends on the individual. We can't. If they don't want to take it, they don't need to take it. What I believe personally is this. To me, the criticism has to be valid, meaning that you have to have reasons into why I'm criticizing you, depending on the situation. Because if I just criticize you, right, and I have no valid reasoning, you have the right to not take it. So when I'm back to what you're saying about the whole communication thing, I just feel that Kevin Porter and Christian Wood are having struggles with communication with their teammates and their coaching staff. I just think that they got to learn to not take things personal. And here's what I do. You can't. To me, it depends on the logic behind your criticism. If the criticism makes sense and it's reasonable, I will take it. If it doesn't make sense, I won't take it. That's just me personally. I'm not saying act like a baby and take things personal, but I just think that they got to understand to not be quick to judge. You get what I'm saying, LB? So what I'm saying is when it comes to taking criticism, it depends on the logic behind it, you know?
Right.
I can't and you cannot force people to take criticism. You cannot force people to do it. Some people will, some people won't. Because here's the thing, right? People need to understand things, okay? I can respect your right to believe something. However, if your belief is not valid, I don't have to respect the belief itself, depending on the situation. So that's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is that Kevin Porter and Christian Wood need to stop being so sensitive and need to, work on their games, need to be better defenders, etc. But back to Waitwell's point on criticism, you cannot force people to take it. You just can't. If they don't want to take it, they don't need to take it.
Well, hey, they don't want to take the criticism and they continue on down the path, then, you have the option to not bring them back.
Right.
So the only thing I say is you put it out there and let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So on that note, I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm gonna get me something to eat. Try to get something to eat through all this goddamn snow that's on the ground right now. But hey man, I appreciate you for coming on, Gideon, as always. Wherever you at, I appreciate you for coming on. Also, once again, shout out to Randy S. through his donations through the super chat and the Cash App, and I want to special shout out to my good friend JH for her donation through the PayPal earlier. But you guys let me know what y'all think. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your boy. Scream at me. Oh.
Earth.